It's 4 o'clock. I call this meeting of the Cochise County Planning and Zoning Commission to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you very much. I'd like to read the ground rules next. Please turn off cell phones or silence the ringers. Also, please be polite to other stakeholders. No applause, no booing, no cheering. If you are attending in person and wish to speak, fill out a speaker information form and give it to planning staff before the start of the meeting. Forms are on the table next to the door. The commission chair will call you at the appropriate time. If you are attending online and wish to speak, raise your hand in the Teams chat and provide your name, address, and agenda item number you would like to address. The commission chair will call you at the appropriate time. Your microphone will otherwise remain muted. In-person speakers must come to the podium when called by the chair. Use the microphone to capture your comments. Each elected county supervisor appoints 3 commissioners to staggered 4-year terms. Up to 3 commissioners are from cities. At least 6 commissioners are from unincorporated areas. A commissioner's service is pro bono. A quorum is 5 commissioners. Special use docket decisions are approved by the commission. A majority vote passes a motion. A tie vote triggers a rehearing at the next meeting. Appeals of special use decisions are heard by the Board of Supervisors. Appeal procedures can be found on the county's website. For additional assistance, contact Development Services. Dockets other than special use requests result in a recommendation forwarded by the commission to the Board of Supervisors. A majority vote passes a motion. A tie vote fails. To voice an opinion regarding a recommendation, you may attend the Board of Supervisors public hearing. We observe the following time limits. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes for call to public, 10 minutes for an applicant statement, 3 minutes for supporters or those opposed, and this can be adjusted by the chair, and 5 minutes for applicant rebuttal. Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Limbach. Mr. Montgomery.
Present.
Chair Depew is present. Mr. Watkins.
Present.
Mr. Young.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez.
Present.
Ms. Fickett.
Present.
Mr. Martsky.
Present.
And Mr. Saunders.
Present.
Thank you. We have a full board. This is the time, I'm sorry, minutes. We need to approve the previous month's minutes. Has anyone a correction? Hearing none, I need a motion to approve.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Martsky.
move we accept the minutes as mailed.
Second.
Thank you. We'll do another vote on that. Mr. Limbach.
Aye.
Mr. Montgomery.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Mr. Watkins.
Aye.
Mr. Young.
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Ms. Fickett.
Aye.
Mr. Martsky.
Aye.
And Mr. Saunders.
Aye.
Thank you. Minutes are approved. At this time, we have call to public pursuant to ARS Section 38, 431.01. This is an opportunity for the public to comment. Individuals are invited to address the commission on any issue within the commission's jurisdiction. Since commissioners may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda, commission action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration. Do we have anyone online that wishes to speak? Anyone in the audience? Hearing none, let's go on to our docket items. Number 1 is docket SU 25-05. Elizabeth Del Deo, are you present? Thank you. Mr. Taylor, your presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This is the staff presentation for docket SU 25-05, a special use authorization for a marijuana establishment. The applicant is Green Reason LLC, care of Elizabeth Del Deo. The property is located at 1134 West Business Loop near Bowie. APN is 302150001H. The property totals approximately 4 acres. The current zoning is RU4. Plan designations are rural community areas and developing. Current use is undeveloped of the property. Proposed use is the retail sale of marijuana and marijuana products. Property is located along Interstate 10 near exit 362 west of Bowie. The zoning map shows the property surrounded by RU4. As the commission's aware, you recently heard a comprehensive plan, rezoning, and special use authorization for a truck stop on adjacent parcels. That was subsequently approved by the Board of Supervisors on March 25th. So the property is now surrounded by GB zoning, as well as I-10 to the south and the railroad to the north. The applicants provided a site plan without any significant detail showing the approximate location of the building. The proposed use will include a permanent retail building with parking. The property is large enough to meet the applicable RU4 development standards, including 20-foot perimeter setbacks. The zoning regulations identify marijuana establishments in section 2.51. These establishments are defined as retail sales of marijuana and related products. And these establishments are retail only and do not include cultivation, infusion, or testing facilities. These establishments are licensed by the Department of Health Services, the state. Some of the specifics out of section 2.51 include these uses must be a minimum of 1,000 feet from other marijuana-related uses, as well as sensitive uses such as libraries, schools, child care centers, churches, or youth facilities. Additionally, these facilities are required to be a minimum of 300 feet from any residence. Formally, the property to the east, when it was zoned RU4, does have a single-family dwelling, but it's subsequently been zoned GB. So this standard would not apply because that property is now zoned commercial. The last real requirement of 2.51 is the use must occur within a permanent building, not a temporary building or other temporary structure, and outdoor seating areas are prohibited. These are a few images showing I-10 Business Loop. The top left is viewing to the east. The bottom right is viewing to the west. This would be a drone image. This would be viewing to the north, showing the Mountain View RV Park to the east that the commission heard recently. The subject property is the approximate property lines are located in yellow. This is another image viewing to the north, showing the railroad in the background. And this is one last image of the property viewing to the east, again with the Mountain View RV Park and the convenience store in the background. This is a graphic that we prepared showing some of the surrounding uses. We used this graphic on a previous item. The green box would demonstrate the approximate location of the retail store. Section 2.48 of the zoning regulations identifies 10 factors to evaluate special use requests. In this particular case, 7 factors apply to the application. Staff finds the following factors in favor of approval. The request does comply with applicable factors with conditions. The appropriate location, this is an appropriate location for retail uses and it's adjacent to established business uses. Staff has not received any opposition from nearby property owners. Staff has also not identified any factors not in favor of this request. The applicant mailed letters on 26 February to property owners within 1,500 feet. Staff subsequently noticed in accordance with the zoning regulations, publishing a legal ad, posting the property, and mailing notices to 24 notices to property owners within 1,500 feet. And those activities occurred between 17 and 21 March. And Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes staff's presentation of docket SU 25-05, a special use request for marijuana establishment. We are available for the Commission's questions, and as the Chair is aware, the applicant is present.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. This is the time for the applicant statement. If you have 10 minutes, if you'd like to come forward. Please state your name and address and speak into the microphone.
My name's Elizabeth Del Deo. My physical address or business? Okay, 24882 West Klondike Road, Pima, Arizona,
Thank you.
85543. Well, the state heavily regulates the marijuana license. They regulate testing. They regulate through documents. Every bit that is sold is carefully monitored. We would be just doing the retail side. No other projects there. Simply the retail for that site. Any questions or
We may-
specifically?
Yes, if that's all you'd like to present right now, we'll probably call you back and ask
Any
questions later.
questions? I mean, the reason that location works for us is the high volume of traffic in that area. That's mainly why we chose that property.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This is the time for the public to have input. Is there anyone online or in the audience that would like to speak for or against this item? Hearing none, the applicant can take time to respond, or would you just rather wait until we have questions for you? All right. Public hearing is closed. This is time for commission discussion. Questions for applicant or staff?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Limbaugh.
you can step back up to the podium. The Bureau of Marijuana Licensing gives you the option of what's called a dual license.
Yes.
You're familiar.
Yes.
So it would allow you to also sell to medical marijuana users?
So this license would specifically be medical. Stop me if I'm wrong. Oh, it would be dual. Okay, excuse me.
Okay, so that answers.
So the license when it would be issued would be dual.
Okay. And your establishment, just to be clear, will not contain a kitchen for manufacturing or a laboratory for analyzing.
Correct.
And then my last question is, from whom are you going to obtain the cannabis?
That would be different. That has not yet been decided. There would be different outlooks for that. Licensed distributors.
Would you be looking more toward local or
Local.
just depends? Okay,
Within the state, I mean,
Okay.
for sure.
thanks.
Come forward, sir. You need to capture your remarks.
Sorry.
Just saying, at this point, sir, there's no reason for us to cultivate or produce because there's such a huge wholesale market from
All over.
large multi-state operators. That smaller guys like us, we're better off just purchasing from them.
Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez.
At this point, you're strictly retail outlet.
Yes.
Is there plans to grow
No.
medical marijuana?
No.
Okay. What about the traffic situation? You said it was a high volume, high traffic area. And
Just referencing the interstate with that.
so you would not be creating a traffic problem on and off the freeway?
No, sir.
What about the smell of the cannabis in that community?
Sure. There would, I mean, everything would be packaged, sealed, airtight within that establishment, the retail store. So there's not really the smell that you're would be relating to that, like as in a grow would create a smell. But in a retail store, there's not really the smell coming out into the public.
What would you say would be the economic benefit to this particular site, this community?
Well, I would say maybe some more job openings for them.
How many people, more or less?
We would be a small store, maybe 5, 7 employees.
No more questions.
Okay.
Mr. Watkins?
Is this going to be a 24/7 operation?
No, I would need to check with, as far as I would think it would be maybe from 9 to 5, but depending on what the city allows would be the question,
The city of Bowie?
or the county allows.
All right. And I know this is just a personal feeling.
Sure.
To me, this store would be no different than a bar.
Okay.
People stop, buy their whatever, and then get back on the freeway.
Mhm.
We're going to have high drivers. That's just my own personal feeling.
Right,
It
and-
has nothing to do with what we're doing. I just
Okay.
had to get that out.
Sure, I can see the concern with that. But just as in any other marijuana dispensary, when that person chooses to use that, you would think that they'd wait till they get home or a safe spot, that it wouldn't be like drunk driving, that it wouldn't be like someone getting in their car and doing that going down the freeway. You know, so that would be up to the individual, really.
I understand.
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Saunders?
Yeah, is it my understanding you have to have a marijuana card or a to in order to purchase?
For a patient, so if we were only medical, that would be the case, that they would need a medical marijuana card, patient card. But for retail or recreational use, no. They do not need a patient card for that.
No, they don't have to have any kind of a state card or anything.
Mm-mm. Just their photo ID, their driver's license.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Yes, one quick question, maybe two.
Sure.
On the staff recommendation, page 16, the third item says overnight truck parking will require an application to modify the approved special use. So are you potentially thinking about overnight truck parking there?
At our overnight truck parking, I'm not familiar with that part.
Okay.
No, Madam Chair, Commissioner Montgomery, we included that because of the previous approval of the truck stop on the surrounding properties in the event there were any spillover. If the applicant chose to allow that, we would ask them to come back and do a modification.
See.
Okay.
Okay. Then I would only discuss briefly, I think federal laws concerning marijuana, for better, lack of better understanding, intoxication are 0%, right? You can't drive with.
Correct.
Some attorneys over here, didn't they know? It's less than alcohol, actually.
Right.
And I would think that commercial truckers would know things like that, wouldn't they? Yeah, you would hope they do. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
I have a question.
Ms. Pickett?
What's the difference if I just want to buy it as a recreational whatever? Or I come in with a medical card? Is there a difference in what you can sell to those people who?
Yes. Medical is depending on, well, medical, when you get into things like edibles, say a person has severe pain and they would want to get their medical card as a patient, you would have higher strengths in certain products.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
what did that answer the question? Okay.
Got one more.
Mr. Gonzalez?
If I was to go in there and say, how much could I buy without a medical card?
Right. 2
Is there a limit to that?
ounces, 1 ounce, 1 ounce.
So you limit it to 1 ounce.
Yes.
That's it.
Is that per transaction? They could go out, come back in and buy another ounce?
They have to, yes,
Okay.
correct.
I have another question. So you track it with like their driver's license number?
Well, there is the driver's license. There's a whole system that the state regulates. So there's different systems, but they are able to read every bit that is put through a transaction, who it went to, the allotment, how much. So every bit of it is regulated to that individual to track that.
These are all very interesting questions. Thank you.
I can offer one other thing.
Yes, sir.
I do serve on a local fire board along the border, and we do receive a regular amount of something called the marijuana tax, and they support other agencies besides fire departments. And so I would think this would help contribute to that in some small way.
Okay.
Yes. So I have a couple questions probably for staff. Does the dual license change any part of this application? I did not see medical anywhere in my reading.
Madam Chair, the zoning regulations do not differentiate between medical or recreational uses or the types of licensing, whether they're individual or dual.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it didn't make any difference. And is there any reason, Mr. Taylor, that we should object to the spot zoning, the RU remaining? It's kind of like reverse spot zone.
Well, Madam Chair, typically when we would consider the spot zoning, it would be to change the zoning to something unlike what's around it. In this case, the base zoning district is not changing from what it is and historically has been. We're just pulling down that one general business type use for retail sales into the RU district. So that's a decision that the commission can make as to whether or not they feel the appropriateness of an RU with a special use or whether it should be upzoned to a business district.
I was just wondering, was there a reason we didn't do that in this? Just no need?
Madam Chair, in this particular case, since we do have a few conditions of approval, it's much easier to do that under a special use than a straight rezone.
Okay, thank you. And then since a residence cannot be located within, forgot the footage, does this preclude a residence from being built adjacent to this facility, say for the manager or the owner? Can they build a house on this property still?
That's a very good question. They could certainly build a house since it is rural. That's a really good question.
Yeah, I just.
Yes, they can.
Okay, yes, we're good with all that.
When we're evaluating this, we look at what's existing.
Yeah.
And there's not an existing house. If a house were to come after the fact, it would be permitted because it's allowed.
Well, because
this is already there.
Didn't we say it can't be located within 300 feet?
Right, of an existing house. It doesn't preclude future
okay.
development.
Cart and horse on all that. Okay, full disclosure there. Just a lot of
Okay.
questions. Thank you
Okay,
for
yes,
answering
thank you.
questions. Are we finished?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor, your summary and recommendation?
Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Based on the factors in favor of approval, staff recommends approval of docket SU 2505 to allow a marijuana establishment with the following conditions. Retail sales of marijuana-based products shall be conducted within a permanent building. Additional standards specific to marijuana uses are identified in section 2.51, 320 of the zoning regulations. Number 2, site obscuring fencing and landscaping shall be used to screen refuse containers and outside storage areas. Condition number 3, overnight truck parking will require an application to modify the approved special use. Condition number 4, improved parking areas and driveways with 2-inch gravel to reduce dust. All the remaining conditions relative to permitting, timelines, and modifications are still in effect. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I'd like to call for the motion. Mr. Martsky.
Move to approve docket SU 25-05 with conditions of approval recommended by staff. Factors in favor of approval constitute the findings of fact.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, let's vote. Mr. Saunders,
Aye.
Mr. Markski,
Aye.
Ms. Fickett,
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Aye.
Mr. Young,
Aye.
Mr. Watkins,
Aye.
Mr. Montgomery,
Aye.
and Mr. Limbach.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It is unanimous. This is approved. Congratulations.
Is that 9-0, Chairman?
That is 9-0 in favor of.
Thank you.
Any individual disagreeing with this action has the right to appeal to the Board of Supervisors within 15 days. An application for appeal is available from the clerk at the office Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or online at cochise.az.gov. Thank you. Planning Director?
Good evening. Thank you again for attending the work session before this meeting. I really appreciate it. Since the last meeting, 2 items were heard by the Board of Supervisors. One was the Bowie truck stop that was approved. The other was the Paul Prince downzoning and sun sites. That item was tabled until July 22nd, and the direction we received from the board as well as this commission is to bring forth some items for consideration of a text amendment. We'll have a work session in May for that. Also in May, there will be a meeting because we have 3 other special use dockets, as well as a combination rezoning and comp plan amendments. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Anything from the commissioners?
Oh, and I also mention, Mr. Coxworth, our director, did resign. His last day was last week. We do have a new attorney. That's Mr. Bert Whitehead. He's in the audience if he wants to come up and just introduce himself.
My name is Bert Whitehead. Glad to be in the civil attorney's office. I'm Bert Whitehead the 4th. My father, Bert Whitehead the 3rd, grew up in Bisbee, graduated from Bisbee High. My grandparents lived here for 40 years on Oliver Circle in Warren. So I'm 3rd generation coming back. We've been here many times throughout the years and grew a special place in my heart. So then I applied for this job and got it, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. And I'd like to state for the record that I did email Mr. Coxworth. Wasn't able to wish him well personally, but I told him he would be missed, although he's assembled a superb staff he can be proud of.
Thank you.
Did a good job.
Yep.
So, is there any reason not to adjourn?
No.
This meeting is adjourned.